Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about Moodle as an assistive technology. What is Moodle and why is it a good assistive technology? Moodle is a content slash course management system. A course management system is used by educators and instructors to present course content to their students. So the nice thing about Moodle is it caters to the different types of learners. For example, you could put PowerPoints and documents in it, which cater to the red learner. You could put visuals in it, like videos and pictures, which cater to the uh, visual learner. And then you can also put audio in it, which caters to the audible learner, and also with the ability to put PDFs and things like that in it, plus text. You also have the ability to cater to the visually impaired learner because the screen reader can read these things that are archived inside of the Moodle course management system. So today we're going to pretend we're an instructor setting up a course for a group of students in Moodle, and we're just going to go through how that works and some of the different things you can do in there. First of all, to do that, let's bring up our browser here, and when we bring up our browser, we'll just open up Moodle here together and take a look at it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put my URL in there at the top of the screen. So now that I put my URL, it's still going in there. Okay, good. I got my URL in there. I've asked my computer to go there. Okay, so now that we're here, this is the Moodle site. The first thing we have to do is log in as the admin account. You have to be an admin account if you are an educator who wants to create a course. So you put in the username of your admin account and whatever password your network administrator created or you yourself created when you set it up for the administrator. Okay, now that you've done that, never remember any passwords if the browser asks you. It's a terrible, terrible feature. Alright, so now what you do here is you go ahead and hit turn editing on at the top right hand corner. When you tell it to turn editing on, all of a sudden the computer knows and the content management system knows that you're about to do something big in there. So to create a course, you just go ahead and click on the courses here on the left hand side. And we're just going to go ahead and click add edit course. Okay, and we're going to add a new course. And this new course is going to be unique because it's going to be called test course. So we're just going to call it test course, which means that it's just for demonstration purposes only for this tutorial. Okay, so a course can have a long name and a short name. The short name usually has numbers in it, like a code like CF110 or something like that. So if you're a math course, you might type MTH or MATH110 or something like that. Okay, so then you can put in a description of the course. This is just a test course, a test course. Okay, now that you put in this is just a test course, the next thing we do here is we just go down a little further, and what we can see here is the weekly format and all of that, the course dates. We can show the grade book to students. Yes, many students do want to see their grade book, so I recommend leaving this on. Right now, the maximum upload size that an educator has the ability to upload of a file in this course is 2 megabytes. We can look at making that bigger in a future lesson at some point. Is this a meta course? I'm saying no because that's tied in with with a more advanced feature that we call metadata. Okay, so then there's also enrollment plugins. We're just going to use the defaults that come with the site because sometimes if we call for external plugins, the browser doesn't always have them and it ends up looking awful. And yes, we will always want to have our course enrollable. For anything wiki related or that's here as a learning resource that's meant to stand for most of the time, I won't put a start date or end date in it. It's just you have maximum access to it for the maximum amount of time. There's no, and I've left the enrollment duration as unlimited at this point, which I may change at some point. Right, the enrollment expiry notification reaches its threshold. No notification, no notifying or anything at this point. Of course, if I did want a notification expiry, then what would happen is Moodle would need to get some SMTP information, which is send mail information, and that's again something we would look at in the far future in a greater tutorial. And it would basically use that send mail information from our domain, so rfeducation.webhop.net, to send an email over to the student telling them that their course is about to expire. Groups, we don't need anything with groups. Availability, the course is available to all students as we know. Language, we can force a language. We're just saying do not force a language. And by not forcing a language, it also leaves it open to language translatability. Translatability allows us to be able to translate any language. So role renaming, we can rename the different roles here of the different kinds of users as well. Right now, for the purpose of this project and lesson, we're just going to hit save changes here. Now that we've hit save changes, all of a sudden we have everything we need for our course. We can see the different kinds of users here. The different kinds of users in Moodle are important. Administrators can do anything on the site. They have full power. Course creators only have the ability to create new courses. They can't really delete anything. Teachers can do anything inside a course, as it says, including and up to and changing and grading student documents. Non-editing teachers can teach courses and grade students, but they do not have the ability to alter activities. Students generally have fewer privileges within a course, and guests have minimal privilege, next to no privileges at all. And they cannot enter text anywhere because we don't want them writing anywhere. Because along with guests can come things like phishing or keyloggers and things like that. And that who knows, that computer might be infected. Okay, so let's click here to enter the course. Okay, now that we're in the course, there's different things that we can do here. So if I wanted to add a resource in my course, I could insert a label. And the label is kind of like the subject of the module area. So for like the first topic, so maybe we'll call this sometimes in history. We'll call this this module. So sometimes in history. Okay, I saved that. We've called that sometimes in history. Yet we could continue adding resources all the way through it. So compose a web page is also kind of like a link that looks like a web page when you go to it. It's like a Moodle web page. Compose a text page is the most common. So you call this your introduction, and you'd write your introduction under there, and then you go ahead and hit save and return to course. So we just have to go ahead and type some lorem ipsum or filler text is what most people call it in there. Okay, compose a web page, link to a file or website. So this is a big one, and this is how we do our videos. I link it to a file or a website. So let's take a look here at this. So we have the option to upload a file. But as we know, the file should not have the ability to exceed 2 megabytes, as we saw it saying earlier. But we're just going to go ahead and demonstrate this. So I told it to upload, and I have the ability to upload a file here. So I go ahead and click that. And then I have the ability to browse in here, and there's the maximum file size again. The computer was showing us right off the bat, it's 2 megabytes. This can be overridden, but there's a special file it would be overridden in. And as students get more interested in this kind of course too, in terms of educators who are wanting to learn and share possible assignments in the future, we can up this to a higher ability. But we want to be careful as administrators how high we do allow it to go, because we don't want to run out of hard drive space on the server either. Hard drive space on our servers is precious. So what we'll do is we're just going to go ahead and cancel this now at this point because we don't actually have anything to upload here. But what we could do is we can go ahead and look at the upload file, the other side, which is the search for web page. So searching for web pages allows us to put in a URL and or whatever, and we can put that and do that like that. But usually I just put in my YouTube videos right here, youtube.com whatever / its name, and then I go ahead and hit save and display or whatever, and then my video shows as a resource all of a sudden, and I can click on it. So next one, we have the ability to display a directory. So what we can do is I can make a directory here, and I can make that directory accessible through here, kind of via the web in a way. So main files directory. There's nothing in there now because I have not gone into the server and told it to make a file available via the web for Moodle. But it's a great place for files if you are wanting to store styles. And you would do that more in a team type environment where if I had like a group of course developers working with me to make courses for special education students. Okay, now we're just going to go back here one more time. Now that we've gone back here, we also have the option to do the IMS content package. Okay, IMS content package is kind of like an instant message package. We can upload it from a file if we want to, and upload again and upload this file. So, and once you've gone and put what you want in the IMS package, you can go ahead and type it, and what you'll get you just go ahead and hit save and return, and then that IMS package, when the user clicks on it, it's a lot easier to use on mobile devices. It's a special package. It's also great for conserving data, so instructors might end up putting readings in there and things like that as well. Okay, so that's it for that, and you can see how we sort of set up a basic course. Another thing that's important in any courses that you're doing on here would actually be the ability to do quizzes. Quizzes are important because they tell us what the students have taken back from the course outcomes, and it also allows us to manage the suitability of technologies to the need of course outcomes. Course outcomes tell us whether or not the technologies the students are using are suitable enough for that student's needs, because we don't want to be putting the student in a situation where they're using something they're not comfortable with, and if they're using something they're not comfortable with, then they themselves can't grow academically and be successful in the course outcomes that we are trying to meet here. So yeah, I'm just going to take a brief pause for a second, and we're going to come back here and quickly look at some of the quiz management. Welcome back here, everybody. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to make up a quick fake test here and put it in, and the test basically is used to tell us how our student is doing, as I was saying. So we go ahead and make sure add a resource is selected, and then we just go ahead and go over to the options where we're looking for quiz. There it is right there. And then what we could do is we can go ahead and type test quiz. So I've told the server that this is actually a test quiz. We have the ability to open and close the quiz at a specific time as instructors. I'm going to leave, I leave all my quizzes open when I'm doing wikis because I want people to be able to try them over and over again. So I will not enable a limit because the wiki tells us what the educators who are using this wiki as a resource are learning from it. It also will tell me what I need to add to the wiki to make it better. Okay, so attempts allowed, I leave that as unlimited, as I was saying. Grading method is always highest grade in any scenario. We're going to use the decimal digits of 2 points in the 2-point grading system, which is basically 4 points an A and 3 points a C plus all the way down as we use in the standard university situation. So this basically tells us to go ahead and leave our test checked off, and to give the students feedback. And in addition to feedback, give them the answers. And yes, we do want to do that because of the fact it allows our students to be able to learn from their mistakes and what they could do better next time as well when taking the course and learning. So I'll just go ahead and save and return to course here. And when I do that, we all of a sudden have the test quiz now. So now I'm going to turn this editing off. Now all of a sudden I'm a student in my own course here. I go ahead and hit test quiz. And when I hit test quiz, no questions have been added yet, but it would actually show up with the quiz at that point when I put the real quiz on. We would do the question, the one question if there was one in there, and then we'd hit finish after that, and that would be it. But because this was only a test course, and I don't want this test course showing on the website here at this point, what we're going to do is we're actually going to end up hiding it here. So let's go back, and so we turned our editing on again already. We went under courses here, and then what we're going to do here now is we're just going to go ahead and click on the add edit courses option again, and miscellaneous. This is now going to show us all of our courses. So we're just going to hide this one course that we don't want here, or we can go ahead and delete a course. For this, because it was just a test course, we're just going to go ahead and delete it. And yes, I'm absolutely sure I want to delete. We don't want to delete anything else in here. So as we can see, as it deleted it, it's gone through all the tables in my database, which were tied to the course. So these were all the things that it used, and it's gone ahead and ripped them all out. So at this point, we're just going to go ahead and hit continue. Now we're back here to what we should have, and we're just going to go home here, and we're going to actually turn the editing off one more time. And that is our Moodle server. In terms of how to create a course and using Moodle as assistive technology. I'd like to thank every one of you for coming out here today and listening and for listening to what I had to say on the subject of Moodle, and I wish you all a great happy day. Thank you. Bye now.